Hi, and welcome to What's Up Williston, the town's monthly TV show where we take a closer look at what's happening in our community. I'm your host, Erik Wells. My guests this month are from the Williston Community Food Shelf. I'm joined by Ginger Morton, who serves as president, and Sally Metro is the operations manager. Welcome. It's the 10th year of the Williston Community Food Shelf in operation, and we're going to take a little time this month to go through what makes the food shelf work and all the things that happen behind the scene in the community here. So I'll start off with Sally. If you want to walk us through what's provided by the food shelf and how someone can access these services.
Sure. We provide non-perishable foods and frozen meats, deli, bakery, and bread products and produce for anyone who comes to the food shelf. We have 4 target towns: Williston, St. George, Richmond, and Essex. Those people can do what we call a full shop when they come to the food shelf. People from other towns can come to us as well, but they get their non-perishable foods pre-packed. We are open 3 days a week. We're open Tuesdays from 5 to 6:30 in the evening, and Thursday and Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 in the morning. Anyone can, like I say, anyone can come to the food shelf, and everyone can come twice a month. All we require when someone newly comes is that they bring some proof of residence, preferably a recent envelope with their name and address on it.
Where's the food shelf located in town?
It's in Williston at 400 Cornerstone Drive, Suite 130. It's a nice location, there's a lot of parking, and so it's easy to get to.
You guys didn't start out there, right? You moved there?
That's right. We used to be on a second floor space at Maple Tree Place. And that was accessible, but it was difficult. We then moved to a smaller space near where we are now, and now we're in a bigger space. So we have a lot of room, and there's good movement in the shelf.
Last Thursday, I spent some time at the food shelf to prepare to learn about what's going on and to get ready for our interview today. And I was just fascinated logistically how things work. There's quite a buzz in there. There's a lot going on, a lot of volunteers working to make things happen. I wonder if you might be able to walk us through kind of what happens behind the scenes to make it all work.
So volunteers come in about a half an hour before we open up, and they get ready. We wrap the breads and we check the produce and stock the shelves. And then once the shelf opens, volunteers shop with customers and take them out to their cars and continue stocking the shelves. It is a very busy place, but everybody has a good time, the volunteers and the customers. You know, what's not great about feeding people?
What does that process look like in terms of time? What time does that start before the food shelf opens?
Well, the shift leaders get there an hour before because there's a lot of material stuff that has to be looked at and put away and wrapped and gotten ready. And so it's very busy for the time before we open, and then it gets busier when the customers are there.
What about when the shift wraps up? What happens at the end of the day?
Well, pretty much there's just some basic cleaning that goes on, and then we shut down. We're only open through these 3 times a week, and there's nobody there the rest of the time. So it's a nice operation that's already set up. We don't have to start from scratch. We do that basic cleaning, and we do a few things. Some of the supplies come in when we're not open, but for the most part it's an empty space when we're not there.
And I saw you keep some food on the shelves afterwards, but there's some food that you can't keep because it's perishable.
Right.
What does that look like?
Well, we specifically set it up so that all the produce and all the bread and all the perishable products that come in for a shift, we intend to give away in that shift. That means a lot of people get a lot of food, so that surprisingly, at the end of the shift, there's not a lot of food left over. Food that's spoiling, we compost, and then food that's still good, we have people that pack it into their trucks and take it off to some other place that can use it. So we try to make sure that every bit of food that comes to us gets used.
That's great. Another piece here, I'm just looking at my notes in front of me.
Sure.
When I was there, maybe you could share how the food shelf works to be a welcoming place and how it's set up like a grocery store.
Right. So first of all, as a food shelf, we intentionally practice no judgment. Everybody who comes to us has difficulties in their lives, and we often tell people that we're all only one paycheck, one car accident, one medical emergency away from needing this kind of service. It does look like a grocery store. The shelves are stocked, the products are out. We try to keep everything looking good and attractive, and the only difference is people don't have to pay after they've picked out all their groceries. And we're happy that we can do this service.
Do you have a general idea? This might be more of a question for Ginger. Just trying to think how many people might come on a typical day, what that would look like.
Yeah, we average between 10 and 25 family visits every shift, which is pretty busy. Sometimes people bring their kids. We have a stack of books there. We have a bookshelf for children so that we can try to keep the kids busy. But yeah, once we're shopping, it's pretty busy and things move along pretty quickly.
And the other piece I saw, you have a room with pet food too.
Yeah. We try to help people keep their pets at home. So we get most of our dog food is donated. Rarely do we have to buy dog food. We buy cat food. And we also we make available applications for this VSNP program so people can get their animals spayed and neutered at a reasonable cost. And we also are giving out some flea and tick medicine for dogs. So we try to help people with their pets because we know pets are important in families and people don't want to be separated from their animals.
What are you seeing out there right now for the need for these services in Williston and other towns that you serve?
Yeah, I would say across the board, not just in Williston, there's a great need. We are signing up an average of 15 families every month, new families that have never been with us before. Other than our seniors and our few disabled customers, the majority of our families are working families, sometimes working 2 and 3 jobs. And many of them are working jobs that you and I would consider good paying jobs, but it's just not enough. So I would say the working families are a population that's increasing in our food shelf, and also we have a growing population of homeless people who come to our food shelf as well.
Thanks for sharing all that, Sally. I know it's a lot to manage. It was amazing to spend some time with you and your team there that day to see what goes into it. I guess I'll shift over to Ginger now. Ginger's the president of the food shelf. And Ginger, I thought we could talk about kind of how the organization runs. I believe it's pretty much all volunteer run.
It's a 100% volunteer organization. Our board members, our officers, our operational staff, all volunteer. We've never paid an employee.
How long have you been involved?
I've been involved since pretty much the beginning, 10 years.
Wow.
It's an amazing organization run by volunteer people.
One thing that comes to mind is, where's the supply of the food come from? I know some partnerships with local businesses. If you could talk about that a little bit and how it's grown over the decade you've been around.
We receive donations of meat, produce, bakery, and deli products every shift we are open from Hannaford's in Williston. We also receive bakery products from the Williston Panera and Starbucks every shift that we are open. Huge donations. The Essex Alliance Church congregation has a monthly collection for us, and they have been doing that for 10 years. Once a month for 10 years. Amazing group of people. The Immaculate Heart of Mary Church and the Williston Federated Church are also regular volunteers and donors. We buy monthly from the Vermont Food Bank. We buy from Hannaford's. Occasionally we buy from Shaw's. We also get food donations from community members and local businesses. I will note, though, that our food donations significantly decrease in the summer. Just a couple of statistics for you. In 2008-09, which is our first year of operation, our food budget was $9,000, and we served about 900 families, which represented 2,700 people. In our 2017-18, our food budget was $46,500. We served 3,300 families, representing 10,300 people.
Wow.
a lot of people.
Yeah. It's quite amount of growth over 10 years, too.
A dramatic amount of growth, yes, for sure.
When you think of when someone's interested in becoming a partner, a donor business, what does that look like? How do they hear about it? Do people approach you? Is it happen a number of different ways? How would a business who isn't involved right now that wants to be involved, what would they do to be involved and make a donation?
We have a website, we have a Facebook page, we are on Front Porch Forum. Our board members are out there in the community. We have a telephone number. People can get a hold of Sally, myself, any board member. They can call our telephone number. They can email. They can donate food. They can donate money. On our website, we have some information on how to do a successful food drive. So if someone wanted to do a food drive for us, all of the information is there on the website. Very easy to get involved.
Back down at my notes here as we're rolling. Sally touched a little bit on what volunteers do, from different duties: stocking shelves, shopping with customers, being a friendly face just to listen and help people out. What are some other pieces that go into that? You mentioned the food drives a little bit. What are some other ways people could get involved?
We have a couple of people that write thank you notes. It is hugely important to thank your community, and because we're a 501c3, it's important that people have a receipt for their taxes. People can meet deliveries for us. As Sally mentioned, some of our stuff comes when shifts aren't open. Somebody could be there to meet a delivery. We always need people to work at events. We are desperate for volunteers right now to work on our Tuesday evening and Saturday morning shifts.
Another piece we were talking about before we got started here is the idea of food insecurity for community members. It can be on people's minds a lot during the holidays, we were talking about, but hunger is not a seasonal issue. And I remember reading on your website, over 30 million people in the U.S. live in food insecure households. What needs and challenges are out there right now that you're faced with throughout the year?
Presently, our shelves are pretty bare because food donations drop off in the summer, but the need increases. With school being out, there are no school-based food programs for children. So the kids that get breakfast and lunch at school then have to eat at home. So we go through a lot more food in the summer, and the donations are down. So that's a challenge for us. As I mentioned, we need volunteers for our Tuesday evening and Saturday morning shifts. We also need donations of children's books, because we keep a children's bookshelf at the food shelf to keep the kids busy while they're there, but then to let them take home books as well. Our major challenge is to continually be able to keep our shelves stocked and to make sure that people know that we are available to them, because that is our mission. We are really blessed to live and work in a very generous and supportive community, though. We have many, many community members who regularly donate to us, and they help us fill our mission of feeding our hungry neighbors.
That's great, just seeing the growth over the years too. And we were talking about what a great community Williston is for people.
It's an amazing community, it really is.
Giving that people give of themselves to help out, whether through donations or volunteering. It's great to see.
It's really good. We sometimes, if we get monetary donations, can make those dollars go a little farther than if you were just to go and buy a bag of groceries, which sometimes helps people too, because then they don't feel like they need to necessarily go to the grocery store and lug it to us at the food shelf.
And I know we've got a couple big events coming up this fall. We've got the Chowder Challenge and a Cans for a Cause and the Turkey Day. We still got some more time here. I'm watching the clock,
okay.
But maybe, Ginger, if you want to talk about what those events look like and what people can prepare for if they want to participate.
Great. On September 30th, which is a Sunday, from 12 to 3 on the town green, we partner with the Williston Police Officers Association for an annual Chowder Challenge. You buy a ticket, come in and taste chowders from 15 or 20 different people in the community, chefs, restaurants, things like that. Do some voting and pick who you want to win. If you bring a can of non-perishable food, your ticket price is reduced, and the proceeds are split between the Police Officers Association and the Williston Community Food Shelf. Last year, the event raised $7,000 in a 3-hour period of time. We are always looking for not only people to come, but people to help set up, clean up, and man the event. October 20th and 21st, we are having a 10th anniversary celebration at the Masonic Center in Williston. It is a Cans for a Cause food sculpture contest. We're in the process of soliciting businesses and other community groups to build sculptures out of non-perishable food. We're inviting the community to come in and view those sculptures, also to vote on the winners. There will be prizes awarded. And at 2 o'clock on Sunday, the 21st, we will be awarding those prizes and having our annual volunteer recognition. And our annual Turkey Day is Saturday, November 17th at the Food Shelf from 8 to 11 in the morning. My goal is to get 150 turkeys so that all of our families will have a turkey for Christmas and Thanksgiving. Those are my big things coming up.
Busy time of year, it sounds like.
It's a very busy time of year.
In terms of events coming up.
Very busy.
Shelf. With Cans for a Cause, how did that idea come about? Is it something other communities have done?
I was invited last year to Global Foundries, and they did a food sculpture contest. I had no idea what I was coming in for. I was expecting things made out of melons and carrots, but it wasn't. It's big, big sculptures made out of non-perishable food. And so we took that on because we were trying to come up with something that would allow the public to be able to come in and be interested and participate. We also wanted to get some business and community organizations involved and have a little friendly competition going on there.
What type, my head's racing right now. What type of sculptures did you see at that one?
There was a fire truck. There was a bowl, a sushi bowl with the bowl and the rice and the chopsticks. There was a pizza. There was a pie. There were several American flags. There was a Christmas present because it was done in November. And they're 6 by 6 foot sculptures, or they're huge. Fascinating though. You'll have to come.
Yeah.
Put it on your calendar.
October 20th.
October 20th and 21st.
2 days. Okay. Great. We'll have to take some pictures for the show here.
Absolutely.
And let's see, we've got a couple more minutes. So were there any other, we've talked about needs and challenges that the food shelf is facing right now. Is there anything we didn't touch on that you guys want to share?
I think it's just important for everybody to understand that there are times when everyone needs help. And people give us money, they give us food, and they expect that we're going to give that food away to people who need it. And so as I say, there is no judgment, there is no, as far as we're concerned, there's no stigma with using a food shelf. And so we want people to feel comfortable coming to us to get food. We're happy that we're able to serve more than just our town, because there are people who don't want to go to their own town food shelf because they know people that work there and they're embarrassed to go. It's a shame that it is that way, but we're happy that we're able to be there for people who, in that situation, who are afraid to go to their own food shelves. So we just want people to know that we're there and that we're ready to serve them.
I know both of you and your volunteer team there are immensely dedicated to this, and there's a lot of work that goes into it behind the scenes. It was fascinating to spend some time there that day and see what goes into it. Just want to kind of, what got both of you involved in wanting to volunteer this way?
Well, I started around the time that the shelf started. I had a lot of friends who were in on the very ground floor setting it up, and so it seemed like it would be a fun thing to do, so I tried it. And I was amazed, I was surprised at how rewarding it was. I think our volunteers, besides giving food, do a service just to listen to people's stories, because everybody's got a story. So it's been so rewarding, it keeps me coming back.
I would agree.
Yeah.
There's a group from the Williston Federated Church that was part of the startup, and Sally and I know the people, and it was, come on, we need some volunteers. And at that point in my life, I was looking for a volunteer opportunity, and I didn't have a volunteer opportunity, and I got started on the Thursday morning shift, and I've never left. Never left. Yeah, it's been great. It really has. We sort of develop a little community too, and as you saw the day that you were there, we have a rapport with our customers, and there are days that somebody might come in and sit and just recognize a friendly face and just dissolve in tears and need somebody to talk to. And there are, we help direct resources to other places, and we're friendly faces. and we will, be non-judgmental, give them what they need, and hopefully give them a little boost for that day.
Yeah. Thanks for all you do, and thanks for all the hard work for both of you and the volunteers and the mission to serve our community.
You're very welcome to do it.
Thanks for joining me here today as well.
welcome.
Hang out for a couple minutes? Got a
Sure.
couple more things to do with the show?
Okay.
It's fun up here, right?
It is, great.
Right. So, thanks again.
You're so welcome.
So next here on What's Up Williston, we're going to take a look at the Williston Community Band. The band is celebrating its 60th year making music here in 2018. And recently I sat down, spent some time at their band practice and a concert, and got to learn more about the community band and what it's all about. So Aiden, our producer, is backstage, and Aiden, ready to roll the tape on this one.
The band was formed back in 1958 by two Williston Town residents, Howard Carpenter and Herb Painter. And they started the band, and Terry Carpenter, Howard's wife, was the first conductor. So she conducted up until 2000, into 2002. And then we were fortunate to have our current conductor, Kim Tokars, lead us fearlessly through many new pieces of music. And Kim has been our conductor since 2002. We meet every Wednesday night starting in June through the end of August. And so what we do is we alternate rehearsal weeks with concert weeks. So our next concert will be August 15th, and then we'll have another concert, our last concert for the summer, on August 29th. But on August 22nd, we'll be here at the bandstand practicing, so that if folks wanted to come and just listen, they can do that. We have a wide range of musicians that play with us. We welcome anybody from middle school to, however old. And what we do is we just like to know in advance, and they're welcome to come. And we've had people that have started, work has prevented them from continuing. They leave for a little bit and they come back. So we're happy to have them join. We love the more the merrier. And I should say, in the winter, we meet on the first Monday of every month from October through May. And we meet from 7:30 to 9 p.m. in the church basement.
When we're programming for the band, we like to do, our main focus, I think, is to do things that the audience will enjoy. And so we do a lot of marches, we do a lot of medleys of show tunes, some things from the repertoire that are well known, but also, we're always on the lookout for new pieces. But mainly, I think we want the audience to come and enjoy music, all ages.
And it's a good place for people that haven't played an instrument like they played in high school. It's a place that they can come and play. You don't have to be a terrific player in order to play with us.
It's a bass B-flat tuba. And as far as I'm concerned, apart from carrying it, it's the best instrument in the band. It's certainly the most pleasant to play. And once you see the smiles on those faces from all different ages, you understand why it's such an important part of the community, and it's delightful to see as a performer as well.
This is a baritone horn, or a euphonium. In the United States we call these baritone horns, but if you were in England they'd say, no, that's not a baritone, that's a euphonium. I grew up playing music, and in my town band where I grew up, I started when I was in 8th grade playing clarinet in the town band. And I love the community part of it. And it's not just the people that come to listen to us, but it's the camaraderie of the people making the music.
I wanted to be a better trombone player, so I figured, I could try this out. My trombone skills have improved playing in this and in our school band.
After like 2 years of playing in a school band, I came here, and it was a lot of fun, and I played for a while, and then I came back. It's fun because there's a great diversity of people. There's all ages, and everyone has a different story, so it's fun to play music with different people.
I was attracted to this group 40 years ago because I was looking for, it was my first summer staying in Burlington, I was looking for a group to play music with, and it seemed like a really good fit. And it's just a really nice mix of people that I wouldn't have otherwise ever known in my life. So I think it's a really important piece. And the town, we owe so much to the town because they have supported this band for 60 years.
If you haven't been out to see a Williston community band concert, I highly recommend it. They've, as Barb said, they've got a couple more shows this summer, and they'll be playing at the Lake Monsters game, the National Anthem, and the Jericho Farmers Market coming up. So I highly encourage you to check out a show or get involved. I've seen about digging out the old saxophone. I might try it out next winter. We'll see. So next we're going to go to our community notebook segment, and where we look at a quick rundown of some things happening and coming up in town. So pivot over to the computer here, and we'll go with the PowerPoint. So a reminder, fiscal year 2019, the first tax payment is due by next Wednesday, August the 15th. You can pay your taxes in person at the town clerk's office, have it postmarked by the 15th, or drop it in the drop box at the clerk's office. It's behind the town hall, right at 7900 Williston Road. And the clerk's office has a busy week next week. Tuesday the 14th is the Vermont primary election. And reminder, voting location is changing. It's going to be at the Vermont National Guard Armory at 7846 Williston Road. That's right next to the Town Hall Annex. And voting's from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday the 14th. If you're not registered to vote yet, check out the website on the screen. You can register to vote. You can also vote early until Monday at noon time. The clerk's office will be closing at noon on Monday to start getting set up for Election Day. Give the clerk's office a call if you have any questions. The Rec Department Program Guide will be out in the August 16th edition of the Observer. And soccer registration starting already. Fall's coming up right around the corner. And a reminder, you can get Great Escape discount tickets at the clerk's office when they're open. A couple things go in the library too. Kindergarten kickoff and library open house. And the health series is going to continue with advanced directives and CPR and defibrillator training coming up later this month. Reminder, we're on social media. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. And there's my contact information on the screen. Always looking for feedback on the show and segment ideas for one of our next episodes. So I think we are just about out of time. We're just about hitting it on the mark. So I want to thank Sally and Ginger for being here and for all you do and being on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Great.
Thanks for everyone for tuning in. I'm Erik Wells from the Town Manager's Office, and I'll see you around town. Take care.